Good evening and welcome to beautiful downtown Garden Grove at the Gem Theater. It's cocktail hour at the Gem with your guests tonight, Sean Escalante and Jeffrey Johns. And now your hosts, Nicole Casesso and Damian Larton.
And John Mitchell, our bartender.
Oh, yeah.
And then Hi, movie. Cocktails!
Hi, baby. Mooses, look at Chase.
Oh, there she is. Cocktails! You missed it. What did the moose sweater say?
The party has arrived.
The party has arrived, and it has, because we're all here together. My God, Nicole, I
Look at
feel
this
like my
beautiful
grandmother sitting in this chair. When my grandmother would drive, she would sit on 3 pillows, but I saw last week's episode, and I was so sunk into the chair, it looked like a fucking midget.
A little person. A little person.
Little person, is that what I'm supposed to say? I get in trouble all the time. I'm so politically incorrect. I'm so afraid when we open the theater back up now that everyone's woke. But yeah, I look like a fucking midget. So I'm literally sitting, I've got pillows all around me, keeping me propped up.
Yeah.
And I told Chase, the first thing, Chase like, hi, Damon, like, listen, do not shoot me from that bottom angle
Yeah,
anymore.
as if it was Chase's fault.
It is,
Please.
it is. I told Nicole.
That's fine.
What did I tell Nicole? I'm like, I have to sit on these pillows. And Nicole goes, what do you tell me? You have to get on what tomorrow?
What did I tell you?
When I-
the treadmill?
Yeah, I have to get on the
God
treadmill.
forbid. God forbid you get on the treadmill. Listen, you're the one that came on the show a handful of weeks ago and said, I'm gonna start working with Hot Trainer, and I'm gonna like.
I have been working out. I have been at the
Ow!
gym every
Ow!
single day
Lies!
for the past.
Lies!
Have I been question truth or honest, truth or dare? Have I been at the gym for every single day for the past 10 days?
Have
The
you
gym or the
been?
Have I been to the gym?
Now, have you?
No, yes or no? I didn't say.
Have you been to the gym? Yes.
Yes, 10 days in a row I've been there.
Yes. Have you exercised?
Have you touched any of the equipment?
No.
Oh, okay.
Only when I Lysol it down.
Semantics. It's all semantics.
Absolutely not.
So how's your week been? What's going on with you? How have your few weeks been?
Listen, I got the COVID. Oh.
You got the COVID, and I spent
And then
every
I gave
moment
it to
of my-
Richard.
But I did not get it. I hear that alcohol bites it off, so I think I'm fine.
So you're safe.
I'm safe.
Yeah, no, so last episode we talked about my birthday was on February 10th.
Yeah,
Spent that in bed.
yeah.
I was in bed for legit 10 days straight.
How was it? Like,
It was awful.
was
How
it?
was it? It was the best.
It was great.
How do you think it was, Damien?
No, I couldn't sit up. I couldn't walk to the bathroom without having to take a 3-hour nap afterwards.
Well,
like,
there was a night that we actually had the conversation. If you don't get better tomorrow, we're taking you to the hospital.
yeah.
But luckily, you got up the next day and you.
I powered through as I do. I'm stubborn
Uh-huh.
in that way. Yeah, but I gave that shit to Richard and
Aw.
Debbie, and but luckily they did okay.
So, Richard, how are you doing now?
I'm getting symptomatic over you. Not bad. We weathered it out. We're pretty much done with it. Debbie and me both got it. And oh, hey, yeah, we made it through okay. I guess pretty lucky because some have had it worse than others, but we survived it pretty well. And the show goes on, so here we are, folks.
Here we are. Here we
Yeah,
go
wasn't
again.
gonna let us keep us down. So
Here we are with our antibodies.
Yeah.
doing
And what
our
about you,
thing.
Jeff? How are you? You're safe. You and I are. I guess this half of the
Well,
stage
Jeff
is
has
good.
2 masks on
Yeah.
right now, so. Wah, 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 wah.
Hey,
Well, now many a women have told Jeff he was a two-masker, but they meant something different.
I've been doing great. Doing still virtual at school, no kids. I'm double masking, washing my hands. Angie and I are social distancing. Stop coughing. I'm gonna put my mask back on. Hey, Angie got me something really beautiful that I wanted to share with all the folks out there and all the Gem audience and the patrons. And it's just a really amazing gift. I forgot to bring it, but
That's a great story, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
That's so awesome.
but I promise on our St. Patrick's rendition of our taping, I'm gonna bring it, and then maybe we can show it to everybody.
Oh,
So-
a teaser, a teaser.
Yeah, teaser.
Well, are you gonna tell us what it is?
No.
He's leaving it open-ended.
You know, for Christmas, she got me 4 or 5 gifts that were pretty amazing, very unique. Maybe I'll share them with you. Well, one of them I don't like bringing because one's breakable.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm confused. Jeff gets Christmas presents?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah,
Go
well,
figure.
they're kind of Hanukkah presents.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of
Hanukkah
Hanukkah.
and
Just because you get 8 Christmas presents doesn't make it
Just
Oh, I
hot.
thought it was 12.
just like Richard has a big fat boy.
A big fat boy, that's a motorcycle.
Oh no, the big boy.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah, Bob. Yeah.
Bob.
But Richard has a big boy Bob, and I have a drummer Jeff.
Oh, you do?
Is that the Viking helmet
No,
that's
no,
made its
not
way
that.
onto the show?
No, and I really can't talk anymore because I got to put back on my double mask. But anyway, I got some really awesome things, and I got a song too.
That's okay, we can edit this all out.
Song or a song?
SONG.
Okay.
But I will share that with the audience next week. Or
Well,
two.
let's hope we all live till then.
Yes. Oh. So besides that, what else is going on with you, Nicole? Besides having COVID and
Oh, it's so many exciting things. Well, listen, we kind of announced last episode that we are gearing up to do Always Patsy Cline.
yep, April.
April.
We'll all have our shots by then, or some of us will have our shots by then.
Yeah.
I'm too young,
Listen,
so I might not get my
you
shot
and I are
till
low on the
2023.
totem
Yeah.
pole, my friend. But this alcohol is gonna keep. I got my antibodies for at least 6 months.
There you go.
Pinkies up. But I had a costume fitting today, which was really exciting.
Oh yes.
And let me tell you, Luis, which you guys know, builds the most amazing, beautiful costumes. Hand built this dress for me for the finale of the
Finale
show.
gown, yeah.
Modeled after a costume that Patsy Cline actually wore to the Grammys.
Yeah, the country Grammys, yeah.
And he hand layered it with
Yes.
this like incredible beading, and it is stunning. I
Oh, it's
cannot wait.
beautiful.
So we have a meeting with
Thursday. Well, the day that you guys will see this show, we'll have met the day before.
Right. So we have a meeting with the city to hopefully get the okay from them to move forward. That is our goal, to be outside for Always Patsy Cline.
Yep.
To do dinner theater. We're gonna team up with Louise, offer you guys dinner and a show. It's gonna be an incredible event. If you came to our anniversary dinner last summer, you'll understand sort of what the feel was like being outside. But it'll be under a tent. We'll be outdoors. We'll be able to seat like 100 people. It's gonna be an incredible experience. Different for us, but because we're, regulated right now by being inside, you know what? Like, we are ready to open. We are ready to bring live theater back. And we think that Patsy Cline is the perfect show to be able to do that with.
It totally is.
And we're so excited about it. So we're gonna start working on music next week. We are doing costume fittings. We are gearing up for a photo shoot.
Yep.
We're in the works of like building out the stage and the seating plan, and we hope that by the time the show airs, tickets will be on sale for you guys.
Yeah, we're very excited about that.
So we're looking at April 15th as an opening date.
Yep.
So cross your fingers for us. Wish us luck. Send in your donations. Tell your city council members that you want to see Patsy. You want the gem to be back up and running, because it's what we do. It's what we all need. It's been an entire year
Oh
of
my God, it will be over a year by the time we open
being
back up.
deprived of live entertainment, and for so many of us, like, that's what feeds our heart and soul.
Well,
And
I have to tell you, speaking about Patsy, I had a meeting with Dennis Wilson. If you do not know who Dennis Wilson is Dennis Wilson Financial. He is amazing. He is taking care of some things for me right now, and he is amazing. He's brilliant. He's one of our very good friends. The thing that I love about Dennis is that Dennis buys out a house, and then he fundraises and he has been creating, I think he's created 6 different schools in Africa right now. He is such a giver.
incredible.
He works so much in our community. He's such a wonderful, amazing, giving person. During this entire time of COVID, he really stepped up for the theater and tremendously helped us out a lot. I walked into his office the other day to have a meeting with him, and what do I see behind his shoulder but a huge picture of Nicole Cassesso autographed,
Wow.
like the big playbill. He's like, oh, I love Patsy Cline. It's my favorite show. I love Nicole. And then I look over to the right, and what's sitting on the small conference table but the actual postcard with both yours and Dee's signatures on it. I'm like, where's my picture, Dennis?
Well, speaking of Dee, hey, Jerry.
Yeah. So Dee had to have some surgery this week, right?
Yes, so we're sending her some love.
We love you. We miss you, Dee. I guess she had an old screw loose. She had a screw like in her ankle or something that they had to go and remove. It was rusty like the rest of her. I don't know
Well,
what
I think
happened.
back, when she first had it done, they didn't have the technology, so it was a wooden spike, and now they're putting the titanium in
There we go.
So, just
So
wondered.
no, Dee
For
really
my-
did have to have some surgery, but she's doing really well. And Ivan promised that she'll be ready to go for Patsy Cline.
Listen, I have no doubt that Dee, even if she was in a wheelchair, would show up for Patsy Cline.
Well, I told her the other day, I texted her, I'm like, well, if I need to, I can always put the wig on and I can go do it myself.
Well, I think we all know that Jerry
Jerry would put the wig on first.
Jerry knows all the lines, so
If she couldn't walk, he would carry her across
Yes.
stage.
he would.
Yeah.
He would.
So Jerry knows all
One
the
way-
lions, like the lions at Lion Country Safari, or the lines.
The lines. This vodka
Yeah.
gets stronger every sip.
Well, I-
one way or another, we're gonna be there. We're gonna figure this show out. We're gonna be there in April, and I hope that
It
you'll
will
join
be a
us.
fucking year already. For
Well, and
fuck's sake.
you know why I think it's so awesome? I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can get entertainment, and people can watch like this on YouTube, or a lot of people are doing some really innovative things. You guys, what you were doing here, and so we're watching entertainment, but be able to watch it with people, what a
Yeah.
big difference. And for you to perform and to get that reaction, I'm sure that's got to be a big deal.
You know what's the crazy thing is like I had been off stage really since October 2019 when we did Bright Star, because
Wow.
then I had surgery after that, and then we sort of like took this hiatus, and then COVID happened because I wasn't ready to do like
Yeah.
Guys and Dolls or anything, and I hadn't realized how much it had affected me
Wow.
physically, emotionally, like as a performer, even when you don't acknowledge it, even if it's something on the back burner, it is something that like feeds our soul. And it really, I can't tell you how excited I am
Oh yeah.
to be back in front of an audience and how grateful I feel to have the opportunity to do so.
Well, just like John was saying, like, it would be nice to be together with people. My Aunt Judy, who has been my mom since my mom passed, I've seen her, but I don't get to touch her. I don't get to hug her.
Well,
I
she
a big
smacked
difference.
the shit out of you the other
But
day.
that was what I was just gonna say. Nicole and I were in the Super King. I love the Super King. If you don't know what the Super King is, it is the most amazing grocery store. It's like Mediterranean, it's Vietnamese, it's Hispanic, and it's everything. They have a butcher case that's literally like 40 feet long, and they have everything. And not just like your normal cuts, but they've got goat, they've got everything. And
I think
rabbit.
you found your new sponsor.
No, I do love the Super
Super
King.
King.
Super King, that's what I always say. Again, politically incorrect, right? Super
Yes,
King.
very.
So I'm in the grocery store, and Nicole and I are there standing there together, and all of a sudden, I feel someone just shove me as hard as they can in the back, and I turned around. I was ready. It was my Aunt Judy.
You're about to hit her with your purse.
Oh yeah, totally. But I looked at her, and we're laughing, and then when I got out of the store, I'm like, that's the first time my aunt's touched me in a year. So no, I am ready to open this thing back up. I want to throw my arms around all of you. We miss you and we love you, and God willing, and
We're gonna do some dinner theater in the parking lot.
so we're gonna do it.
Fuck yeah.
And that's it.
Fuck yeah, Jerry! Fuck yeah!
And ain't that a kick in the
That
head?
is a fucking kick in the head. Put your glasses on.
I got my glasses on. I'm ready to sing a song.
Woo!
Now don't fuck this up. We rehearsed this once earlier today. How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like a fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head?
Her room was completely black.
Her, I'm a him.
I hugged him and he hugged back.
There we go.
Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat?
My head keeps spinning from the liquor.
I go to sleep and keep grinning.
Is this just the beginning? My life is gonna be beautiful.
Life's sometimes enough to spend. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't that a kick in the head?
Oh my God, not a kick in the head, but so many wonderful things happened this week.
Tell me.
Lee and Mike Busco, again, $50 every week.
Thank you, my darling.
Richard Ulrich sent us $200, $100 for January, $100 for February. Wrote us the most beautiful, beautiful cards, and every time he writes us a card, he writes it like on like the turtles or the unicorns, like anything of unicorns. He's supporting all the animals too, even the unicorns.
Even the unicorns.
Okay, but I have to tell you this. We had Ozzy and friends on our last
We
episode.
sure did. Oh my
Do
God.
you know that our patrons donated over $600 to them?
Oh, that's
Amazing.
awesome.
Thank
But
you,
on
guys.
top of that,
Thank you.
every single dog that was in that episode was adopted.
Oh my gosh. And they're all at your house, right?
Yeah, no.
We took
Except
them
for
all.
Rex. Rex wasn't adopted. He was the aggressive one, but he's going to be adopted.
No,
I
but
know
you
he is.
guys, Rex was the one that stared at me the whole show. I
But
loved
poor
him.
Freddie that I was holding in my lap the whole show, he got adopted and then he got really sick. He got a really bad infection and had to go back in the hospital. But
Did I give Freddie COVID?
you might have. I'm glad to say that Freddie is fine. He's back home.
Oh,
He's
yay.
doing well. He's thriving better. He's out of the hospital.
Guys,
Also,
Ozzy and friends, donate to them, follow them, adopt a dog, take a loved one home. We love them.
I also want to talk to you. My very good friend Megan from the Garden Grove Historical Society came in today.
Yes.
And they are going to open their doors back up
Oh, cool.
in April. They're doing outside tours, and it's amazing.
That's
So
super
with the
cool.
Garden Grove
I've
Historical
been there, you
Society and
guys.
Stanley Ranch Museum. It's
Stanley Ranch.
Stanley Ranch. It's right down the street from us, like a block away from us.
It's super cool.
Do
It's
you
super
know
cool.
that they have Walt Disney's original farmhouse there that he, or back garage, whatever it is, that he actually drew Mickey Mouse in the first time because he
That's
lived in Garden Grove.
amazing.
So they're opening it. But even better than that, they're having their barn sale Thursday through Saturday, April 22nd to 24th.
We're getting called off.
You have to go. You've got to go to the sale. They have an amazing sale.
The
It's
barn
got
sale is
beautiful
super
stuff.
cool.
So you have to go. Go with us. We will go down there with you. We'll take Chase. We'll film you. But get out there and support them. They aren't funded by anything but their $5 admission sale. But because of COVID, they have not been open for a year. And we cannot let our Stanley Ranch go. You've got to get out there. You've got to support them. You've got to get out there and give them some money, buy some stuff. And I hear they have a lot of old furs on
They've
sale.
got great stuff.
And who doesn't love an old fur now and then, right, John?
Exactly.
Small boys, you want to bring this thing back in? Play for me, boys! Like a fellow once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Play it, Jeff! Play it, Jeff! Say it!
Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the bone?
My head keeps spinning.
I go to sleep and keep grinning.
Is this just the beginning? My life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't be any better than I'd be sick, not sick like you were.
Tell me quick, ain't that a kick?
Tell me quick, ain't that in the head. I could use a good kick right now. Where's my cocktail boy? Where's my cocktail boy? I'm empty. Oh, look at him. There he is. So handsome.
Uh-oh.
Shot. Shot. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, shit.
Is that peanut butter?
Yes.
What is that?
That is
don't go away.
that's
Don't go
Screwball.
away.
It's peanut butter whiskey.
Screwball? My God, then Nicole, they named a liquor off you. Nick, come talk with me. I don't have the mic on, so why don't you come sit on my lap? I'm speaking to my mic. So today I saw something so special. Your mom and father live in
Wales.
Wales. So whereabouts in Wales? Are they like on the water? What is Wales?
Yeah, it's on the south coast, a town called Carmarthen.
Okay. And they wrote Nicole the most beautiful little letter today. They were saying happy birthday to you. That was so nice of your parents. So you're gonna go out and visit them hopefully soon?
Hopefully when everything opens up.
So what's the first thing you're gonna do when you see your mom? Are you gonna
Okay.
cry?
It's been over a year now.
Oh my God. So what's that like being away from your family and being so far away, especially in this time right now?
It's tough when you can't care for them, especially being older. Have to depend on my sister to get them groceries and stuff like that. So it's tough. You can't do your bit.
But you just bought them a TV, right?
I did.
Was it a big TV?
It's a big TV.
Were they excited? Were they like surprised?
Yeah. Reg was doing a happy dance.
Oh, that's awesome. Can I share something with you? And I don't mean to embarrass you,
Uh-oh.
but I want to share something really special that Nicole shared with me today. That when you got back to the country a year ago, you literally had $400 to your name and you worked hard. And not only have you thrived and become this amazing human being, but you were able to like support your parents all this year and take care of them and buy them a TV. And then what did you buy today?
A new toy.
When I bought a new toy too. It's sitting on my lap. Oh, here's the moose. What did you buy today?
A new sports car.
How beautiful. Now explain it to me. What is it?
It's a Nissan 370Z.
And what color is it?
Red.
And you know what made me so pissed off about you buying that car? Is that it's a two-seater. So there's no place for me when you and Nicole are like cruising down the highway together. So
You gotta sign up
yeah,
to get
we
a
have to
ride.
take turns, right? Oh, is that all I have to do is sign up to get a ride? It was so funny because you took John outside and we're like, oh my God, look at the straight man, like talk about the car, how much they are.
I was just curious why he had all that money and bought a car instead of shirts.
We wouldn't like if we bought a shirt.
Oh, it's okay,
Never
all right.
mind. I just want to say, like, what an amazing human being you are, and I love the fact that you are so separated from your family right now, but you become such a man, you've grown so hard, and that you are...
After sitting on your lap, maybe
Exactly.
you will too.
There's so much hand movement right now. No, like, you
No, his
literally-
keys aren't in his pocket.
You literally are what America's about. Like, you came here, you figured it out, you've worked hard, you're getting your master's
End of the month.
in a month, and you've just done this, and you've created a whole life for yourself, and I'm just so proud of you, and you walk around in your underwear in front of me. I mean, what? My
Which
God.
we all appreciate.
You know, I do that too, but he doesn't
Yeah.
like it. I don't know.
I'm like, go back, go back, go back.
Back, John, back!
We love you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for being such a good boy to your parents. Oh my God, I just burped boy to your parents. No, like honestly, like how amazing that you like are such a good boy, such a good man. We love you. Now go backstage and show your chonies. They're really cute. I saw him backstage. I'm like, look how cute those underwear are. He said Under Armour. Well, I think that I'm out of that and I'm out of my other shot. I think it's time to go visit with John and see like what you're making for us tonight.
Well, come on over. Let's talk about
Now,
it.
Do I
Chase,
have to get up?
yes. Show all the pillows I have to sit on to be. That's all the pillows I have to sit on.
I didn't finish my cocktail.
So, what are you making for us tonight? What's the cocktail
Well,
of the evening?
I'm over here at this awesome bar. Is this not the coolest set?
It's
Oh.
so cool.
Although
you look
It's so Brady Bunch.
I thought Hollywood Squares.
Oh, okay, yes.
I feel like Paul Lynde.
I was
Or is that Charles Nelson Riley? One of those 70s
no,
queens.
You're so Paul Lynde.
One of those 70s queens. So today, one of our guests.
Your wife at home is like, oh my God, stop embarrassing
Oh,
me. Our
no,
children
she-
are watching the
No,
show.
she doesn't watch this. So one of our guests, she told me, used to perform at Disneyland.
Yes.
And so in the spirit of that, and in honor of our guest, Jeffrey, I thought it'd be fun to do a pixie cocktail.
Well,
So-
you know, he did play Tinkerbell.
Yeah,
so.
there you go. So this is a pixie cocktail here. We've got some sour apple liqueur. We've got some triple sec and vodka. And the way we're gonna make this, we're gonna just put in a nice little big healthy shot of vodka here. There's two of you
We
drinking,
love
right?
a healthy shot of vodka.
Well, there's two of you, so we'll make two.
Oh my God. Jeffrey, ready? Because I'm
And then we'll do a little bit of triple sec here for each of
Nice.
you. And then we'll finish off with some of the green stuff. The sour apple.
Woo!
Sour apple pucker.
For those of you making it at home, take notes.
And then we'll
this is
just
a professional.
shake this up.
Oh, look at that
You like that?
move. Oh.
You know that move, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not usually a shaker in my hand, but.
Ah, we're getting martini glasses.
You ever held one
Look
that
at
big?
that.
Yes. Hi, Bobby.
So here we go. Whoa! My cup.
That was a gusher.
My cup runneth over. We got a squirter. Oh, stop.
Woo!
Look at that. And then to top that off, you always got to garnish your drinks here. So we have a nice little lime wedge.
Oh,
That's
look
beautiful.
at that.
There you go.
John
Cheers.
Mitchell.
Oh, my
What
goodness.
a
Oh, here you go,
star.
sir.
Thank you.
Cheers, James.
Salute.
So this is called a what?
This is a pixie.
Pixie.
What do you think?
Oh, wow.
There you go. A little bit of pucker.
Ooh.
Oh, that's delicious.
I love this show. I love being on the
That's
show.
delicious.
To me, this is just like, it reminds me of another show. You ever watch, when Kathy Lee and Hoda were on the, it's just two gals drinking and just talking about their day. That's what this feels like to me.
Two gals.
Yeah,
Totally.
Hoda and Kathy Lee.
And Bob.
And Bob, yes.
And Bob.
And the moose.
And the moose.
And the moose.
The moose is not, I am not the moose's biggest
Moosey.
fan.
No, you're
Look
not.
at Chase.
It's
Look at
taken
Chase.
us a long time. She let me
at
pet her
Chase.
today, and that was kind of a new experience for both of us.
Oh. Well, she doesn't usually like straight men.
I guess. I don't know what it is.
So I'm surprised she
Oh,
didn't like you.
that's delicious.
You like that?
I do.
Awesome. Well, we'll try to do a different themed one each week.
I'd love
or
that.
each episode.
Hi, Moosey Moose.
I keep thinking it's every week, but it's every episode.
It's every other week. Yeah.
We can't be here every week.
Well, Nicole and I are a little hammered, so we're going to go backstage and drink a little coffee. But coming up is 5 minutes of antics with our bartender, Mr. John Mitchell.
So stick around. We got more coming right at you. More action. We got more action coming right at you. Well, hey, welcome back. We are now backstage. This looks a little different, but we wanted to take a moment and show you some exciting things that are happening in the Tiffany room. One of those things is, what's the Tiffany room? Well, we'll get to that. So come on in here. I want to introduce you to a couple people. You know Damian Lorton, but this is Sean Escalante. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. How are you? Good to see you.
Good, good
hey,
to
I
see
was
you.
just telling the folks here about the Tiffany room, and Damian, why don't you tell us how Sean's involved?
Well, Sean is an amazing singer and performer, and you've seen him on stage a lot, but he's also an amazing designer. He's been working with Summerhill for a very long time, and he does amazing designing. And if you're not familiar with the Tiffany room is a $1,000 donation every year. It's $1,000, and you can come up and you have a bar and appetizers. There's a pre-show thing and an intermission thing, and it's a really nice fundraiser for the theater.
But now, Damian, this room is pretty empty. You're having people come up in this room?
This
No.
is not what it's going to be, I promise you.
Okay.
Sean,
I
explain the room
promise
to
you.
us.
Well, we came up with an idea between Damian, Nicole, and myself, and we really wanted it to be much more glamorous. So we were thinking, we put our heads together, and I said, why don't we do something like a speakeasy style, something
cool.
very upgraded and just really luxurious and just a sumptuous type of room.
So you have a little window in the door then, like the speakeasy, you got to look
Well,
in? Okay.
They'll definitely decide who's coming in and who's not. I feel lucky that I get to come in here. But it's just a great room, especially when they're doing shows. I love coming
you've
up
been
here.
a Tiffany Room member for years now,
Yeah, I have.
so it's a lovely experience, isn't it?
It is, because when it's busy downstairs, you can come up here and it's quiet, and there's appetizers, there's cocktails. And
So it's like
just
your own private bar,
Yes,
basically. Before the
yes.
show, you come up here, and you don't have to associate with the
kind of
riffraff.
like a speaker.
Exactly. So Sean, walk us through your beautiful, amazing design.
So, first off, the inspiration, Nicole loved teal. So we really wanted to stick with those type of colors. So what we're going to do, we're going to redo all the floors first of all. They're going to be black and white.
And is it going to be a carpet or?
No, it's going to be a black and white. We want to keep it very authentic. So it's going to be a black and white checkered type linoleum, large squares. We're going to have a banquette here that is it 16 feet?
Yeah, that's the actual measurement right
the
there.
measurement there. So it's going to be banquettes, so it's easier to sit up here. And we're going to have little tables in front. This wall back here will be turquoise,
Oh, cool.
like a deep teal color. And we'll have a couple mirrors and sconces, which...
Now tell me about the sconces.
Well, the sconces will be antique and probably the light fixtures as well. But those will come from Summerhill Limited in downtown Orange.
Oh,
which
and we
is-
love the sconces. They're like Parisian or something?
They're French.
They're French.
So, and everything there is always authentic. And if you've never been there, you've got to go there. Summerhill Limited is at 110 South Glassell. It's a great
Oh
store.
my gosh, it's right in the middle of the Orange Circle. They have everything from like little tiny pieces to huge pieces. And my favorite thing is Denise always has brooches. I have so many brooches from them. So get out there. And I told
And
Denise.
she's been there for 30 years. People don't realize, and that's amazing for someone to be in business that long. That
Well,
just
and
tells
I think
you what
Damien
she does.
alone with his roach
Roach-
purchases probably kept her in business all 30 years.
Well, I have a few roaches at home.
doesn't
And not the ones that crawl.
That's
No.
true.
Yes, very.
So we're going to, this wall is going to be teal, and we're going to run the color probably back all the way through here. Then the rest of the walls are going to be a black, and we'll have black baseboards, black and white checkered floor, black tufted banquettes here with tables.
And tell me about the bar.
And the bar is going to go over here. So we're going to have a bar right here, so that way we can utilize this for all the liquor and glasses, and we're going to have a custom type bar here. And we're going to end up, I think we're going to put a piano over there, aren't we,
Yeah, we're
Damien?
putting piano
Oh,
against
nice.
this
So we
wall
can
over
have
here.
Oh, that'd be cool.
little
We'll have little social occasions
little
when Bobby comes
social
up. She'll play the
occasions when
piano.
Barbara
It's got to be a
Stovall
small
comes and-
piano. I don't know if you can use all 88 keys.
No, we're gonna do a spin it. We're gonna
Oh,
have a
yeah.
very spin it that
And
was
that
just
way
donated to the theater that we
That's
just
awesome.
Barbara
recently
can
done
play
right
for us up here, and we can sing, and we'll have a couple chairs here and mirrors. It's going to be very, very beautiful.
And not just mirrors, but we have like an amazing framist who's gonna frame. Framist is my
Yes,
word up?
he's going to do
Framer.
custom framing for us, and we'll have beautiful beveled mirrors here.
And then over here we're gonna do an entire wall of backstage photos, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And over in the corner here, we're going to do a beautiful something that will keep a floral arrangement going when we're doing shows.
What's that word that you keep using that I love? Loose, lance, what's it is? The French word. It's like loose. It's a thing that was life.
I don't know
You
at this
said it.
point.
You said it.
I've had too many cocktails.
Yeah, I have a question because everything I'm hearing sounds amazing. It also sounds expensive. Now, the theater's been closed for a year. How are you paying for all this?
Well, this was something that we were looking into beforehand that we really wanted to do as one of our first goals. So we want to start with the Tiffany Room and then redo all the carpet in the theater and then carry this theme
The theme throughout the theater.
theater.
We're starting here because this gives you a real play on what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just carry it through the rest of the lobby and the theater. This is such an amazing theater if you think about it. The deco style of the theater, and there aren't theaters like this around anymore.
oh, it's gorgeous,
No.
yeah. All the
I mean, it's
curves in there. and everything, yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Well,
So is this money that the theater has, or are you taking donations? How are you?
we're taking donations for it. And, you know, it's $1,000 a person a year to be a part of the Tiffany Room.
Which
and
is so easy.
And then you can, so that $1,000, and you can come in here anytime you come to see a show.
Anytime you come to see a show, you can come up here, sit down, enjoy yourself, have a nice evening.
That's great.
But no, normally in the beginning of January, our Tiffany
That's when the
donors
donations happen.
start to come in.
Okay.
But without us having season tickets right now, we're hoping that our Tiffany Room donors will see what's going on right now and they'll step up. But there's lots of other ways that we're trying to raise money. In fact, if you want your name on the wall, we're going to do this special thing. For
awesome.
$5,000 a year, you can bring 10 guests in every time you come to the theater.
Oh, very cool.
And then this room will be named after you
Oh, that'll be
For
awesome.
the year.
for the year.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
However, if you want the entire room named after you for the rest of the gem's life, it's going to be $50,000.
Wow.
So with $50,000, it can be the John Mitchell Tiffany room.
Wow.
And
That's
how,
something
if
to
you
think
do
about.
that, how many people can you bring in?
Well, if you do that, you can bring whoever the fuck you want.
Exactly. I knew you were going to say that.
But no, I mean, if the sconces are, how much are each sconce?
Well, we're getting, of course, a great
A
deal on
wonderful
them.
deal.
It's wonderful. They are from France. So, I mean, each sconce, to give you an idea, would sell for probably $1,500 each.
Wow.
And
So-
we're getting them for a much cheaper price. So, like, if you donated $500, you could buy a sconce for the room.
What if I can only afford a light bulb for the sconce?
Well, I will take that too.
He may give you a drink
Oh,
downstairs.
Exactly. But no, of course, we need some help. We've been able, because of your great help throughout this time, we're able to start doing these projects in the theater. But yes, if you've got an extra penny, throw it at the Tiffany Room. If you want to be a Tiffany Room member, buy it now. And once we open our doors back up, your membership will start the moment we start up, and you've got a whole year up here.
That is so awesome.
And we should be ready. We're planning on getting this done within a couple months.
Yeah, so it should be ready
So hopefully,
and open by the
fingers
time we
crossed,
get
that we'll be ready to
when we
go.
get Patsy Cline open. This room will
Absolutely.
be open.
So everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, the Tiffany Room, that sounds swanky. I think I'm going to have to wear a Tiffany-style mask. I'm going to have to put
Whatever
my
you
mask
need
in
to
for
do,
that,
you know, we want you to look appropriate.
Well, Sean, thank you so much for showing us your vision. And Damien, how
Thank you. I
awesome you
can't
are
wait.
at making this happen. This is really cool. So stick around. We got more action coming right at you. You know, it's a bar spoon. Spoon reminds me, my wife and I just actually went, there's a new store here in Garden Grove, a new restaurant my wife Gina and I went to. And it was pretty cool. We went in there, and the spoon reminded me because we sat down, and we're sitting at a booth. And when we sat down at the booth, my wife sat down and kind of got herself situated there, and the spoon was on the napkin. And she sat there, and she slid it, and it knocked over, the spoon fell down. So before, I went to lean down to get it, and before we could do anything, like this, boom, around the corner comes a waiter. And he's got a spoon, and he pulled it out of his pocket, and he replaced it. And he walked away. My wife and I thought that was the coolest thing. I mean, we looked at each other, we're like, who would, this is a great service, great restaurant, and that's just crazy that he had it and replaced it that quickly. So he came back, and, we ordered our entrees, and, I had a cup of soup beforehand and a salad and things like that. And my wife, she's really curious, and she's got to ask people things, and it embarrasses me. And she wanted to ask this guy how he just happened to have this spoon. I said, honey, don't say anything, don't say anything. She wanted to, so she called him over, and she says, I'm sorry, that fascinates me. I dropped the spoon, and you had a spoon. I mean, who would have thought of that? And here's what's interesting about this restaurant. He said that they had an efficiency expert come into the restaurant and kind of help them design it. And this is their thing, that they want people in and out. It was all about efficiency. And they said because they set the napkins out and it goes a fork, a knife, and a spoon, the spoon was the most likely to fall off. And in most situations, it would be a spoon. So they figured if every waiter carried a spoon in his pocket, they would have it right there. Now, I don't know about you, but this was brilliant to me. To have it to be on the ready like that, it was fascinating. A little bit later, we're eating our soup, and the waiter comes back to check on us. And it was so embarrassing, I tell you. We looked down, and on his fly, I noticed there was a little piece of string hanging out of his fly. And I didn't say anything, of course, but my wife wanted to tell him. I'm like, honey, don't say anything. That's so embarrassing. She said, no, I got to tell the guy. He's walking around with the string. I said, don't say anything. It's embarrassing. She calls him over. She says, sir, I don't know if you know this, but you got a string hanging out of your fly. He says, oh, yeah, it's part of the efficiency expert's advice. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, what he realized is most of the waiters, they'll use a restroom maybe 2-3 times on a shift. And then after you use the restroom, you got to wash your hands. And that takes a good 2 minutes. So they try to figure out how to reduce the touching and whether you would need to wash your hands. So he said what they all do is around the head of their member, they tie a piece of string so they can pull it out and they never have to touch it. They don't have to wash their hands. Pretty smart, right? But then I thought, well, how do you get it back in? And he says, I don't know about the other waiters, but I use a spoon. Stick around. We got more action coming right at you. She doesn't have COVID, but she does have a fever.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I give you fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever. When you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, and you know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Everybody's got the fever, that is something you all know. Fever isn't such a new thing, fever started long ago. Hey, Jackie.
Ooh, baby!
Romeo and Juliet. Juliet, she felt the same. When he put his arms around her, he said, Julie, baby, you're my flame, you give me fever. When we're kissing, fever with that flame in you. Fever, I'm on fire, fever, yeah, I burn for you. Captain Smith and Pocahontas had a very mad affair. When her daddy tried to kill him, she said, Daddy, oh, don't you dare, he gives me fever. With his kisses, fever when he holds me tight. Fever, Miss Mrs. Daddy, won't you treat him right? Now you listen to my story. Here's the point that I have made. Chicks were born to give you fever. Be it Fahrenheit or centigrade, they give you fever. When you kiss them and have a sense of game, they give you fever. Till you're sizzling, what a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to
I think I need to get my temperature taken after that. I think I got the fever too. Well, welcome back. Now we got Damon and Nicole with our very first guest.
Well, here we are. And before we bring our guests out, Nicole, can I just talk about those fabulous shoes that you're wearing?
Oh, these
Lift
shoes?
it up so that you can show
Whoa.
pearls and diamonds. My goodness.
Can a
Pearls,
girl
that's a
ask-
bit much, isn't it?
Can a girl ask for anything more?
I think that's a bit showy.
I love it because it is so who we're interviewing tonight. He is totally pearls and diamonds.
Well, I would say so.
Even a pearl necklace now and then.
Oh!
Can I please introduce to you our very favorite friend, a very special guest tonight, Mr. Jeffrey Johns. Come on out, my love. There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome. Sit down. Everyone, this is Jeffrey Johns. If you do not know who he is, Jeffrey, you've been with One More Productions now for, when was Smile, 18 years ago?
2005. I don't do math.
Oh my God, 2005.
We were babies, Damien. We were all babies, the infant production.
I've never been called a baby, but yes, I was younger. Still bald, but younger. And you came on, and you were so amazing because it was a whole show about beauty pageants.
That's right, yeah.
And you worked with beauty pageants, right?
Well, I've been working with the Miss America pageant since I was a little kid. And I'm a ventriloquist, and there was a ventriloquist in the
Oh,
show. So
yes.
I loved the show. I loved the
Yes.
concept of the show. And I had never been to theater yet in Orange County because I kind of just moved to Southern California. So it was the first experience with theater in California. It was a production about pageants, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful to come see
I
it.
love that you say it was wonderful. It was our first
very
show
first
here on
show
the Gem
here.
stage.
Yeah.
We were subletting the building. We had maybe 5 lights in the air.
There was we talked about it before, but you remember this. There's a whole like hole in the floor that we could walk over, so everything had to be staged like this figure 8 pattern.
But the thing, there was so much energy in the show.
yeah.
There was so much
Yes.
passion by the performers. It was an excellent show. If you look back, there might not be as many technical elements as you
Yeah.
have now, but the passion was there. There was
Well, it
so
was-
much energy.
and I think that's something
Kelly
to be
Master,
said.
you, Meredith Allen. I mean, my God, we had such great. Valtria was in it.
I
We
think
had
that's
such
something
an
to be
amazing
said
cast.
about what Damien and I have always strived to create, and I think that what we've always done on the Gem stage is like, it's been about passion.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, I think, what reads, and I think you can get fancy sets and costumes, but if the passion's not there, that's the
Well,
most
we've
obvious.
always said, like, can you imagine, like, what we could do with the Broadway budget? Like, what we could do with $1 million on what we do with $25,000?
Yeah.
You know?
Wait a minute. He does not have a cocktail.
I
Jeffrey!
know, I
You're on
know.
cocktail hour!
Cocktail boy! Where are you?
Oh, I'll take this.
Of course
Thank
you will. And I think Nicole and I could do another shot. Why
Another
not?
shot?
Why not?
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Oh shit. Yikes.
The last shot of the night.
Cheers. Woo!
So, ventriloquism.
Yeah.
Now we're ready for
How?
an interview.
How did you get involved with that?
I was a little kid and I saw Sherry Lewis, who I
Oh, yeah.
idolized, and I
Was
loved
Sherry Lewis
with Lamb
Lamb
Chop.
Chop.
Lamb Chop?
Yeah, and I loved it, and I loved Mr. Rogers, but Sherry Lewis had magic. And since then, I wanted to have my own kids show, and I wanted to do ventriloquism. I went to the Maher School of Ventriloquism. It was an online ventriloquist college. No, and I kid you not. Unfortunately, the man who ran it died while I was getting my degree, so the college closed because no one else could run it. But I was so passionate about ventriloquism. I love it. It's very magical.
So, who do you have? Who are your puppets? Who are your...
Well, I have different ones for different appearances. I have the dummies, like the ones that
Oh, the
wink
old
and
school,
blink,
yo.
and very hard to use.
Like
but
the
also-
ones like in like Twilight Zone. Like
yeah, the ones
fucked
that
up, scary
freak
ones.
everyone out.
Yeah.
I have a lot of those, and I love those because they're so technical, and it's so hard to make them work. And it's not like this. I feel puppets are so much more logical, where you're just working buttons. It's like an eye button,
Yeah.
a winking button. But I think it's so magical, but people are afraid of them. So I don't use those nearly as much as just puppets because it works really well when you go to children's hospitals or performing for kids. It's just
Yeah.
more fun. But I always like to do different numbers with the puppets and stuff. It's fun.
Wow.
So, let's talk
Yeah.
about your career
Crazy.
because you have such an expansive and interesting career.
Yeah, because I don't say no to anything.
Exactly.
That's the problem. I'm like, oh, you have a job, I'll take it, and then I figure out what it is.
Well, like I was like researching him, like body painting,
Yes.
like award-winning movie director, like all these things that are going on in your life. So let's start from the very beginning. How did you get into the arts? How old were you?
I was older than I should be. I was 15 when I did my first show.
Really?
Because there was no theater. I
And
went
how old are you now?
20. So I'm really a novice.
Oh my!
No, but I was, my school didn't have an arts program. So
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Seymour, Connecticut. And we didn't even have our own high school. We shared with
Suddenly,
a role I need to play before I get too many more wrinkles. Like it's like on the to-do list.
Botox, Charlie, your friend.
Oh yeah,
Nicole and I are
Botox.
going tomorrow.
Next time you guys see me, I'm gonna look so young. You'll be like, he is 18 to look younger again. No, so I think I didn't have the exposure. But since my high school didn't have a program, I found a community theater. And I was so awful, Damien, because I had no experience. I went to an audition it was a country show called The Robber Bridegroom.
Oh, I love Robert Redford.
It's a wonderful show, but if I auditioned for you, you would not think it was wonderful. They said to sing like a country-esque song, so I heard this Willie Nelson song called Always on My Mind.
Oh, yeah, I love
said,
that song.
This is perfect for a 15-year-old to sing. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the key of the show. I didn't know what a key was. Like, so I go and, you know, they're playing something I never heard before, and I'm just like, oh, no, mama! I didn't know what I was doing. So, of course, they asked me to sing Happy Birthday, because that means you really
That
hit it
means,
big.
like,
You hit
yeah.
it big. You're doing well. And I got cast because when you do, I always say when there's odd shows, people don't show up to audition,
Yeah.
which I think is weird. But since no one auditioned, they cast me and I got to be the door and the rock, like all inanimate objects. and I got the passion for the theater. And I'm like, I love this. I love this. And I started to audition more, still not knowing how to train. It was really later that I really started to train and dance.
Well, you danced with Jimmy DeFore for a long time,
Yeah,
right?
and-
And it's so fun because Sean was here tonight,
I know we
and
talked
you
about
guys
that.
took classes together and didn't know that you knew each other.
Well,
right?
he took a little before I was there. He kind of stepped out by the time I got there. But I was on the scholarship there, taking 20 dance classes a week for a year.
I remember
on
that.
scholarship, and I just slid in anything. I had a moment I would slide in life, but I felt dance was my biggest weakness. And I feel, always evaluating myself, I always try to look at the worst part of me and pull that up rather than focus on what I'm good at.
But you're a gymnast as well, right?
Well, I was taking gymnastics, but I wouldn't do gymnastics now. More ballet, tap, jazz. But I do stretch every morning. That's a big thing with COVID. I think it's so important to stay on your game. I'm so worried.
What has COVID done with you? I know that you were telling me today, like, I'm swimming a lot more right now.
Yeah. Well, I feel it's really important for all performers to stay in shape.
Oh, yes.
And we can't stay in shape necessarily the way we did before COVID. So I started to put on a little weight, which is something I've never done.
I put on a little weight.
And
A lot of
I
weight.
put on 20 pounds, which is unheard of for someone 5'3". And so I decided
5'3", is that like a midget?
Practically.
Little
Right.
person.
Practically.
Little person.
Little person. I get in trouble every time I say midget. I
You
said
know,
it like 3 times tonight.
It was something that always bothered me when I was younger because I was like, I could never get the roles I wanted. I was never, even if I was the best, I wasn't going to be a leading man. I wasn't going to have the opportunity. But it actually led me down the path to find other roles and find other things and create new opportunities for myself.
Well, speaking about 5'3", you were, and I can say it now because Disneyland is closed, you were Peter Pan, and you were like the Peter Pan of the park
I did
from
Peter
like 1968 to
No,
1973.
I did play Peter Pan for
Walt
12
hired
years.
him, right?
12 years, both in Walt Disney World and then Disneyland. And
That's amazing.
That's the magical song over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Pan will always be a very special thing for me. It's probably the essence of never growing up and always keeping that youthful side. And I feel as artists, that's us. Even
Oh,
if you're playing a
definitely.
90-year-old, I think we're going to be 90 out there performing.
Oh, definitely.
And I think it's that magic of Peter Pan saying maybe your body's gonna age, but you can always have that youthful spirit, that youthful energy. And I feel that's what I'm gonna carry with me. And I think it was also acceptance of being this little runt. Because everyone, I was always 5'3", I wouldn't even let the kids push me in the locker. I just got in and shut the door myself. Like, I know what the ending's gonna be. Let me take away the thrill for them.
Yeah.
Let's just get myself in the locker. But I remember always not feeling I was where everyone else was. I mean, 5'3" is little for a guy. And I got Peter Pan because I was little. It was perhaps one of the most incredible
And you were,
experiences.
yeah, so
be
for
thankful
12
who-
years.
12 years, yeah.
That was awesome.
Can I ask real quick, when did you work there? What years?
At Disneyland?
Yeah.
Well, until COVID.
Oh, but for Peter Pan, how long?
I went out, oh gosh, probably about 8 years ago. I stopped doing Peter Pan.
Well, I have to ask, when my kids were little, we had Disney passes and we would go all the time, and I heard you were coming tonight, so I went through my photo albums. Now, this was the same year. I can't tell. I don't know if it's you. I don't think it is, but you probably know this
I'm
person.
sure I'll know who it is.
So this was at Chase, you get this here?
I'm not a cast member anymore. I
Oh,
can look
okay.
at anything. That is not, but this is a person I was mistaken for a lot.
See,
and he
he knows
actually
him.
is in the theater scene, and he works with Tim Kallega sometimes over there at Knott's.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Jason Evans.
Oh, that is, oh my God, that is Jason Evans.
Chase.
Chase, you got this right. Oh my goodness.
Who's a wonderful talent. Jason's amazing.
Yeah.
What was your? Did you get to do the floats and things too?
Yeah, I was basically at Disneyland. I did a lot more of the electrical parade as Pete and Peter Pan. So that was kind of my parade at Disneyland. Yeah.
Well, that's
That's
awesome.
so fun.
But not just Disneyland, so many amazing things. The thing I love about you, Jeffrey, is that number one, you were like a founder of the theater, that you were here in support of the very first theater, the very first show we did. But you still like you usher for us. If there's a toilet to be scrubbed, you're like, I'll be right here for you. But on top of all that, you have worked with some of the most amazing artists in our lives. People that I have so many questions about this. So, first off, okay, I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. With him, I don't. Like, you have done like so much theater, you've done so many shows, you've been performing, and then one day you're like, I want to write a fucking movie.
Yeah, I did.
So,
I just
Waiting in
decided-
the Wings,
and you know why?
2014, and you're like, not only am I gonna write a movie, I'm gonna star in it with Shirley Jones, Sally Struthers, and Lee Merriweather.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That was not the intention.
Yeah.
The point was I was getting to a point where I wasn't 20 anymore, and I was even.
So, did you wait till 40 to figure that out?
I realized as I was as approaching the 30s. No, I realized that my roles, even though I felt my talent was getting better, and I finally was like a stronger dancer because of DeFore, my work opportunities were getting less.
Yeah.
I was getting less callbacks. I was not getting called back at community theaters. My career was done because I was always getting cast as that young guy. And so you have two choices: leave the theater, just become a patron, which is wonderful, but I wasn't there yet. I'm like, this is what I was meant to do, even if everyone says no. I had a few directors meet with me when I auditioned for film. They're like, we loved you. You're a great 18 to look younger, but you're not that anymore. I can't cast you. You're not castable. So you can get angry or you can change things. And I said, I'm gonna write a movie where the guy has to be little, but he has to be getting older, and he has to be, I was like, I need to create a character based on all the things that people say I'm uncastable for. And there was a scene that started it all, which was the sperm bank scene with Sally Struthers, where the character actually is told how he is not a person we want more of in society. Your sperm is worth nothing.
Yeah.
And kind of built off of that, and almost a fabricated version of who I am. Maybe more of the vision of what people think I am rather than what I really am, was this character. And it was supposed to be a spoof that I was just showing to a few friends. It wasn't really supposed to become a big movie musical. But my friend Ari Gonzalez, I showed him the script, and he's the most negative person on my work always. He's kind of like a Damien. He's like, well,
Very honest and loving.
If he says this sucks, that would be common. He goes, this isn't all that bad, which I knew this is something I need to look at. And he wrote a song, and then I found songwriters to write one song each because I knew I couldn't get amazing songwriters to write a musical for me. So I got all these songwriters to write one song each, and then I was performing in Las Vegas, and I met Lee Merriweather's daughter when I was performing in Tony and Tina's wedding.
Yes.
Because of that, she said, I want you to meet my mom. And her mom was Miss America, Lee Merriweather.
1956, 55.
First Miss America crowned on TV, and Catwoman, as most of us know. And she said, is there a part in the script for Mom? And I said, well, not on our budget. She said, let her read the script. And Lee Merriweather loved the role of Ethel. And so she joined the cast, which then got more interest. Christopher Adkins contacted us to be in the film. And then we got Sally Struthers on board. And then finally, ultimately, Shirley Jones, who was not our first person. She was our replacement because Carol Channing was supposed to do it, but she got ill.
Yeah.
We filmed the whole movie. We wrapped the whole movie. Everything was edited, and I didn't finish it. Because Carol Channing is my true idol.
Yes.
Like, she's the person.
But you did get to meet her, right?
I did. I've met her, but she didn't get to do the film.
Yeah.
So finally, I had to finish the movie.
Yeah.
And we got the wonderful Shirley Jones to join us.
Yes.
And that was fun. And, but half of the first movie was filmed right here at the Gem Theater.
I know, and that was when we were at the fire. So you were the first person in the building. There are still parts of the building that weren't even done yet. So we're like, you have to do this upstairs, and we can do this here.
I
but
know.
The carpenters are coming in. Everyone's coming in.
We were working around. I remember they're like, the chandelier should be here. There's no chandelier. We're filming here anyway.
Yeah.
Because we filmed in the lobby. We filmed in the dressing room.
Yeah.
We were upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Out in the. Everywhere around this building is the movie.
Can
Which
we
is
take
so
a moment
cool.
and just show them the first preview of Waiting in the Wings?
Absolutely.
So let's just take it away, Chase. Share it with them. Here we go, everyone.
Everyone, put on your dancing shoes.
I never thought I'd have a chance to audition for a show in New York.
It's not an audition, it's a contest.
Wait a minute. I just won this online contest.
Hi, I'm Tony from New York.
America's Strip Search.
Everyone, get ready to dance.
Congratulations for being America's hottest stripper.
I have a problem.
Where's your dancing shoes?
The dog ate them?
Have they heard you sing?
The minute that you get too big and cheesy, man, you blew it.
I just don't know about the stripper thing.
March. You're just nervous. I'll take care of you. It's almost your turn.
I don't know if this is a good idea.
You'll be great.
Oh, you're serious?
I'm straight.
Too bad. I was gonna offer you some personal dance instruction.
I'm bi.
Oh, God.
What's going on?
You haven't told me anything about this show yet. Trouble in Paradise.
Can't really sing.
It just takes finding the right song.
The world needs music.
I'm gonna make you my new project.
Really, you don't have to do that.
Why this? Why now? Because I don't want to end up being a 40-year-old joke.
Cue in the oohs and ahs of backstage chorus is sure to cure the blues.
This whole helping people thing actually feels good.
Just because my dreams are dead doesn't mean I'm going to turn my back on people living theirs.
They're not dead, they're just in a coma.
You can drop the act, Rita.
What act?
The one when you pretend like nothing bothers you.
All he's into is music and theater, and theater and music.
You're into him.
Montana, I mean, there's nothing for you there. This is where you belong. Who's attending matinees?
It's gays
And Jews.
And girls who need love. Who goes even to the place?
It's gays
And Jews.
And girls who need love. Raise up your way overpriced Cabernets. 'Cause we only work when the audience pays. We love you gays, Jews, and girls who need love.
Some things are better than a spotlight, but not many.
And then after this, you started still waiting in the wings
4
in
years
2018. 4 years later.
Yes, we're back.
Cheetah Rivera, Ed Asner, Lee Merriweather again, Seth Rudetsky, which we're going to talk about that in a
I
minute.
know we are.
Bruce Glenn, and Sally Struthers came back.
Yes.
So how the fuck did you get? Okay, so there's this moment that I have to ask you about that you're like sitting there and you're like, I don't know, you guys in like a DMV, but you're like at an audition or something, and you're sitting with Cheetah Rivera, and all of a sudden she pulls this Tony Award.
Yes.
Was that her actual Tony?
No, and I have a great story about that.
Right.
They will not allow you to use an actual Tony Award because there's rights. It's like a picture. If you're touching, you can't just use it. And they want the most updated Tony in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cheetah Rivera didn't know this either because she says to me, "So Jeffrey, why didn't you just have me bring my Tony?" I said, "Well, I had asked them and they said we need to use the new Tony." And she goes, "Did they charge you?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "How much did they charge you?" I said, "It doesn't matter." She says, "Come here, tell me how much they charge." I said, "Cheetah, it really doesn't matter." She said, "Come closer, just tell me, just whisper it to me." I go, and I told her, and she slapped me in the face and said, "You should have told me to bring my Tony." but the reality is, there's so much clearance with that.
Yeah.
But I wanted the Tony in it so bad because I think we're exposing people who don't normally watch musicals to musical theater. And I'm so sick of always hearing about Oscars and always hearing about Emmys. And the Tonys aren't really as mainstream.
Oh.
But we have a film that's a musical that so many people who don't watch musicals come see. And that's a great thing. I've had people go, "I've never really gone to see a musical. This is, I just went to see it because, you know, I knew some of these actors in it, it'd be fun, or at a festival." And that's the great thing. It's bringing more people to the theater.
So what was it like sitting next to like Shirley, singing a fucking duet with Shirley Jones? Like sitting next to Cheetah Rivera, like being with Ed Asner, like, I mean, my God, Mary Tyler Moore, I mean, what was that like having that experience?
Sometimes it's out of body. You know, it's kind of like, is this really happening?
Well, like you're like having dialogue with Cheetah, and she's so Cheetah in the moment.
Yeah, that one was the hardest because I was actually directing too. Because we couldn't get Cheetah to California. I had to fly to New York, and I had to crew up, so I didn't have any crew. Anyone who was in my comfort zone was not there.
That's crazy.
So scary, and we had technical problems. And I had never worked with any of these people, you know? So, and then Seth Rudetsky was there too.
Oh, let's talk about Seth.
Oh, I don't know. The big thing was
You're so nice. I'm not.
I know. He's
So
very
we
prompt
did
with
disaster.
paperwork.
We did disaster.
I know you did.
And then all of a sudden, Jack Plotnick, Seth Rudetsky, what was his name? My favorite, the elephant.
Kevin Chamberlain.
And then
My doppelganger.
yes, Adam Pascal, who was in Love with You. They all show up at the theater one night.
Yes.
And then for weeks later, I was getting like emails from Seth and Nicole and I. And I told Nicole, I'm fucking done with this. And Nicole like composed the most beautiful email that pretty much just said like, fuck off, leave us alone, knock it off. He's like, oh, well, you should do this instead. And this line should have the emphasis on this. I'm like, fuck you. So what was your experience with him? He was lovely, I love him, and I can't wait for him to do like Waiting in the Wings 3.
I will tell you this. There's some actors that are more enjoyable to work with than others. I think the hard thing about Seth was he kept leaving set, which as an actor, you just don't walk out. And you had to mail things and do this. It was definitely not his priority, but we were working around Cheetah Rivera's schedule. So Seth, we kind of needed to be in place. So it was a little bit challenging. We had wonderful instrumental music between takes. I mean, it was just he played pieces out, and so that was nice. You know, and it was a little bit more challenging because we really needed to focus on Cheetah and not our supporting cast.
Yeah.
She was, I consider that the moment of the film.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, and she was so wonderful, and and it took me 7 years to get her to agree to do it because she was my initial replacement for Carol Channing.
Yeah.
And she couldn't do it. She was trying to do it. It couldn't work out. But she rejected my offer for 7 times before she agreed to do it. In fact, her agent said, come on, sit down before I tell you she's going to do it. And I was working with Tim Kalega at the time at Knott's. And that's when I found out she said yes. And I just couldn't function. I was working in a show and I was like, oh my God, like Cheetah Rivera said yes. None of the girls knew who it was. And I'm like, no one can enjoy this. You know when you're just beyond on the moon?
Yeah.
And I'm like jumping. I'm like literally flipping. I'm doing splits. I just couldn't control my excitement. No one knew who the heck it was. I might as well have said my mother was being in the movie with me. No one cared. They're like, that's nice.
Well, as amazing these movies were, you were
Well, it's
also...
because she's not on TikTok. Nobody
I know,
knows who
but
she is.
that's also my point. I wanted someone known for theater.
Yes.
I think Shirley Jones did what I needed in the first movie, but she wasn't a theater person. She was, but she wasn't. But Cheetah is known for theater. She is a theater person.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny. She goes, oh, I know how this works. I filmed Sweet Charity. I'm like, I don't think the
Well,
movies work
Nicole,
that way
talk
anymore.
about some of the things that these awards won, this show's won.
Well, Still Waiting in the Wings.
It was just released during the
your
pandemic.
Sequel
Yes.
won Best Feature Film at the Fort Worth Gay and Lesbian International Film Festival and the California Independent Film Festival. Independent.
Independent.
That's
You got
right.
Nicole.
That's
One
a
more
nice
shot,
twist
one more
on it.
shot.
Best Ensemble and Best Soundtrack at the Film Out San Diego Film Festival, and the Best Musical Feature at Garden State Film Festival.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I have to tell you, the very first one we went to was Fort Worth with the sequel, which they didn't even accept the first movie, only the sequel, which was great because my goal was to make the sequel standalone. I didn't want, when you're independent, you can't rely on them having seen your first movie.
Yeah.
So I was really excited that I said, okay, well, this is great. We're going to this festival. Didn't even accept the first movie. We submitted, they didn't accept it. And this is a whole different feel. Like, I think the first movie has a lot more heart, but the second one is just funnier. I just think it's a lot funnier. And I think it's better put together because we had already made a movie at this point. Everyone was thrilled. We won Best Feature. The editor sends me his hard drives back. The colorist sends me his hard drives back. We made it. We can't believe it. We're done. Now you should never leave them all in the same spot at once, just in case something
Well, I was
happens.
just going to talk about this. Yeah.
And well,
we had
during
a very
that time,
same experience.
And during that, and it was right before Christmas. It was December 11th. All of them gave me all their drives. It was upsetting. No, it was right. Ooh,
You upset the dog. The
yeah.
dog's upset.
So they gave me their drives, and I was calling people to say, can I drop this drive off to your house? Because, you know, we don't keep all the drives in the same spot. In that 3 days' time, the house burned to the ground with all master files. We had to cancel all film festivals. We had no movie.
Yeah.
It took 2 weeks to find we even had raw footage that we could put the whole film back together. But for 2 weeks, calling producers, calling festivals, and trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life.
Yeah.
Because my car melted in the driveway because I was at work and I walked to Disney from my house.
Yeah.
But it all came back together, and I said, even if this film doesn't work the way I want it, we have a film. Because I knew I'd never get Cheetah Rivera.
Yeah.
I would never get Ed Asner to come back. It was just too much to think of ever reassembling this movie. So no matter what happened, I said, I have to be okay and move forward.
I will tell you this, Jeffrey, that when Nicole and I lost the theater, and we lost it at the fire, 10 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
It was such a horrific, well, was it 10 years or was it? It just took us years to rebuild the theater to come back. And it was just such a heartbreaking moment. But we came back, and when we came back, Nicole and I said, we're gonna do it the way we wanna do it. So when COVID hit and we had to shut the doors, I don't have a fear. I'm like, no, we're coming back bigger than ever. And I think you did the same thing.
And I think you're right, but I also want to say thank you guys, because I know you're one of the first people to reach out to me saying, do you need us to do a benefit concert? Is there anything we can do to help?
Yeah.
And that's why you're here. You know, that's why I think people say, why do you usher? Because I get that a lot. Why do you usher for these shows all the time? Shouldn't you be in a moment? Well, I can't always do the show, or I'm not cast on the show, or I'm not right for the show. But I still can be a part of a theater company that I enjoy. Like, I enjoy being here. I think you don't have to be on stage to be a part of something. And I think it's about the magic you create, both for the audience as well as there's just relationships that are just
Well, we've always said we're not a community theater. We're a theater for our community, and I think that's so beautifully put. It's that label us whatever you want to label us, but listen, we're gonna stand up. We're gonna stand strong. We're gonna be here because in service to the community, because that's what we believe that like this audience deserves, this community deserves. They deserve live music. They deserve live performers. We deserve to give a space for people to be able to do that. And so, COVID or not, whether we're in the parking lot or not, we're ready to like bring live theater back. We're done. We're ready. We're ready to go.
And I love that you guys stayed so visible during COVID. I think it's what all of us needed, you know, to see. Because even though it's film and we're obviously not right here.
Well, listen, 31 episodes
31!
tonight.
I know, that's exciting. But you know what? It was even more exciting watching you guys film because it really is live. You know, it's fun on TV, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart is just racing with excitement. It's wonderful, and I can't wait for the doors to reopen.
So a couple of things I want to say before we let you go, because we are so beyond our time. I saw the lights waving at me, but I don't care. It's been so much fun. America's Got Talent.
Yes.
You made such an impact the first time you came.
Yeah.
And you sang from.
Well, the first time I went and I had my 8-foot tall chair and I sang "Bigger Isn't Better" from Barnum in my little general outfit.
Yep.
And they made it.
And they picked you up. They made a whole story about you.
They did. Like, I was literally 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
They put me around the biggest people I've ever met in my life to be interviewed. So backstage, I actually looked so tiny.
Yeah.
And then they never showed me with anyone else. So people were even like, they should have let the little midget through. These are things I got. You're like,
See, I can say
Little
midget.
person.
But that's
Midget.
not what
Fuck
they
you,
said.
John. Fuck you, John. Fuck you, John. Midget.
Person.
But you know
This is
what
a
they say
public
about the
service
midgets.
announcement to all our little people out there in the audience. I just want to apologize for Damian Lorton.
But then they brought you back.
Yeah.
Because you had such a following, right?
I did, and you know the other reason they thought it was so fun because they whole
Because you were a midget?
Because the thing is, they said the only way this little guy will ever work in Vegas is if he gets America's Got Talent. But after the show, I got cast in Vegas.
And then you did Naked Men Singing.
I did Naked Boys Singing.
So again, goes back to what I was saying about the
I take
midgets.
any job.
I can't hear all the way over here.
Oh.
Naked boys singing.
Naked Boys Singing. Yeah.
And you didn't get arrested.
Well, you know, it's funny. I didn't want to audition for that show.
Nor should you,
No,
anyone.
I'm like, my agent said, you need to go to this audition. I told them you're coming. You got to get out of that squeaky clean image. You're like, Peter Pan at Disney, Sound of Music, Oklahoma. They're like, no one wants to cast you. You don't take risks.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to the audition. I said,
Was this Chris Hansen?
this is not. This is not. So my agent said, you need to go. I told him you're coming. And I was so excited because I wasn't in town. I was in New York. I'm like, I can't even make it. He's like, send him a letter. Tell him you can't go. Send him an email. So I did. I sent him an email. And I kind of did the Nicole thing, but too good. I sent him a wonderful email about, I think it's great that the show is coming to back to Los Angeles. It was the original creator who was directing it. He was bringing back some of the original songwriters just to do this big celebration for the 10th anniversary because it's been on Broadway all this time. And I was like, so I sent this beautiful letter and I can't wait to come see it. Unfortunately, I'm in New York until blah, 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 blah date. And done. He goes, that's perfect. He's like, you know what? There's no, we're having callbacks the day after you get back. So we'll just see you a half hour before the callbacks. And if we like you, we'll have you stay. If we don't, we'll excuse you. Okay, well, now I'm thinking, there's no nudity at the audition, just the callback. I have to make sure I fail at this audition. So I take a song from his show, and I think, how can you ruin a song? I know, I'm gonna skip around the stage while I do it, do cartwheels, splits, and woo, like Annie was presenting his song. And my hair was big like this at the time.
This sounds like the plot of The Producers.
This is, I did the work. I mean, it was like Pippi was performing his song.
Now, if
They applauded Damien. They said, we've never seen anyone take a risk. This is what we're looking for. I thought, oh no. And then.
Now, if I hold the
And then they
moose
ask you
or
to take
get the
your
moose
clothes
off
off right
stage,
there.
yeah.
If what?
If I get the moose off stage, can you skip around and do a cartwheel into a split?
You want me to do a split right now?
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
I better
come
take my
here.
shoes off. Yeah, I don't want to.
Come here, baby.
I probably should have stretched, but oh well.
Here we go. A little drum music, please. Ah! Now imagine that naked, folks. So Ed Asner, Christopher Atkins, Lee Merriweather. Oh my God. Get me another shot. Cocktail Boy.
Great
Shirley
segue from Naked
Jones,
Boys to Ed Asner.
Patricia Richardson, Sally Struthers, Seth Rudetsky, Bruce Valanche, Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley.
I love her.
Chase, can we get subtitles under David?
Yes, please do. So, Naked Boys singing, everything, Laverne and Shirley, like, what's next?
I am right now working on a kids television show pilot, so I would love to do that. And the big thing is, Waiting in the Wings, the stage show, the movie is heading to the stage. I have
awesome.
never been more thrilled, and I want to thank Nicole especially. You know, it doesn't just happen. Just because it was a movie doesn't mean it's ready for the stage. In about, I guess it's almost been 2 years now.
Yeah.
I got some of the best actors I knew to come do a reading with full music to see where we stood. And
I wasn't asked to take part.
no, you were not, but you came. You came and gave feedback.
Yeah.
So I got people that I knew we wouldn't have acting issues with, so we could really get notes. And the notes came back awful in a lot of cases, which I love because that gave me opportunity to make it better.
Yeah.
So we have a completely new script. Adriana was the first person ever to read for this role that I created for the stage show. So I'm like, well, she's great. So I'm like, it's good I can take notes. And songs changed, things changed a lot. And now it's gonna hit the stage right after COVID.
Good.
And hopefully 2020.
And that's going to be at the Rose Theater?
It's gonna be the Rose Center Theater,
Wonderful.
yeah. And I'm hoping we can get some of your cast or whatever show you're doing
Are you
over
using
there.
live musicians?
I don't know yet. That you know, I think things might change since COVID. The goal is yes, but we don't. I can't promise how it's going to be staged at this point. We were in rehearsals when everything happened.
Yeah.
So we're going to use the cast that's still available and wants to do it, if they still feel they're up to it. You know, because also we have strippers in the show.
Yes.
Like COVID. Right, 20, 30 pounds for a stripper
Exactly.
might not be a good idea. So you know, you have to see but we're gonna have it staged, and then we're gonna prep the show for the 12-person cast to head to New
Well,
York.
when you tell us and it's ready to go, you let us know so we can tell our patrons to get out there. Jeffrey, thank you so much for coming on. We went way longer than 15 minutes
I know.
tonight, but It's fine. No, we just love you. I love everything about you. I love that you have support of the theater. I love that if you're not in a show, you are here ushering. I love that you buy tickets. I love that you are always here. Everyone, I want to say thank you to Jeffrey Johns. Wait till after the show. You already saw the first preview, but watch the second one, and we'll let you all know when the show goes live at the Rose, so we can all go see it together.
Yes,
we'll do a
absolutely.
gem night together.
Oh, I love that. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Take it away. John, anything else to say?
You know, I don't know if anybody noticed that, but right in the middle of the interview, Jeff poured himself out for a gig. Hi there. We're so excited to bring you this new feature. We're going to sing a country western song for you each time of the cocktail hour until we launch Patsy Cline. So here to kick it off, once again, our very own Nicole Casesso and Damian Lorton.
That was good. Here you come again. Just when I begun to get my life together, you waltz right in the door, just like you've done before, and wrap my heart around your little finger.
Here you come again. Just when I'm about to make it work without you, you look into my eyes and lie those pretty lies. And pretty soon I'm wondering how I came to doubt you.
All you gotta do is smile that smile, and there go all my defenses.
Just leave it up to you, and in a little while, you're messing with my mind and filling up my senses.
Here you come again, looking better than a body has the right to.
And shaking me up so.
And all I really know is here you come again. And here I go. Play it, boys!
All you gotta do is smile that smile, and there go all my defenses.
Just leave it up to you, and in a little while, you're messing with my mind and filling up my senses.
Here you come again, looking better than a body has the right to.
And shaking me up so, and all I really know is here you come again. And here I go.
And
here I go. And here I go. Go, go. And here I go. Come on out, boys, and take a bow. Oh my goodness, look at these beautiful, handsome men tonight. How exciting. Sean Escalante, designer extraordinaire. Take a bow, take a bow. Jeffrey Johns, thank you, my love. Take a bow. Todd Crater, take a step forward. Oh, take a bow, take a bow. And what about our fabulous musicians tonight? We have Jeff on drums, our Jewish tornado. Oh, play it, Jeff, play it, Jeff. And then, of course, our musical director extraordinaire, Mr. Richard Abraham. There he is, Richard. Don't forget John Mitchell, our bartender, our hostess, our epic man of our life. We love you. Thank you, John. And then, of course, our fabulous, amazing Miss Nicole Casesso. Take a bow. Oh, you give me fever. And what about me? I am your hostess with the mostest. Let's go to John and take a shot. Come on, John. There we are. Oh. One last shot of the night. Oh my goodness, we all have one. Here we go. Cheers. 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 To the camera. Cheers. We love you guys. Oh. Let's go backstage. There's more booze backstage. Let's go drink. Come on, John. Lead the way. Here we go. Come on. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you.
Move a little to your left.
What's this video audition for anyway?
It's to get a singing waiter gig down at Cafe Broadway with Rita.
So just sit back, relax, and while serving smiles while we sing. That we live to serve, we serve to live.
A few months ago, I was starring in an off-Broadway show. Now I'm slinging hash off-Broadway.
This new guy, Bradley, and I are like kindred spirits.
A person's a person.
No matter how small. Seussical the Musical, Aaron's and Flaherty. Open November 30th, 2000.
He's good.
I will be officially starring in the acclaimed, outstanding daytime drama All of My Days and Most of My Nights.
Tony, don't suck.
It doesn't bother me. I love my successful boyfriend. Does someone smell diva burning?
They stole my solo. Solo stolen.
Rosie wanted to turn it into a group number, but I knew how much it meant to you, so I begged her to let me save it with some simple harmony.
Gonna have to start drug testing these kids.
This Brad thing, I think you're being a little paranoid.
Maybe if you and I could get together, we could think of something to help Anthony and I get along.
This feels like giving confession to a devil, because that's what you are. You are evil.
Wow.
Now look what you've done. How does it feel to win a Tony Award? I feel more talented just by touching it.
Show business is rough. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. If you want your dreams, you have to fight for them. You have to fight for you.
Stand up. It's do or it's die. Will we rise to the challenge or let it slip by? Stand up. Go big and aim high. Will we follow our rainbow or fall from the sky?
Nothing like live theater.
Live theater? Oh, no, honey. We get paid.